We are alone. Alaska! Just to show you some of the tundra out here when you're walking. It's a little bit spongy, as you can see. Not the funnest walk, but sure helps when there's some good mountains in the back.
Well, we've officially encountered our first creek crossing on our trek. About 3.5 miles in, you can see Aaron just crossed the first portion of it. Tried looking for a place down there, but only had to walk about 1/10 of a mile to find a better spot. Obviously it's a little swift, so we came to this direction, cross a little braid, and we're gonna cross right over there. So now we all are strapped up in our stylish water sandals and capris, so we'll see how we do. Well, we ended up making it over across, a little bit deeper than we expected. Someone's in distress. Ended up getting probably 1 inch or 2 above our waist, so our pants are absolutely soaked. I actually lost a water bottle in the swift current as well, so that's nice. But we made it, so that's all that matters. And now we get to enjoy these views. Well, we've hiked about probably 6 miles now, and we're looking at our second creek crossing over here, which is a little bit bigger than the one we had previously. So we've kind of waterproofed everything in our bags, sleeping bags, the tent, anything of importance. Slide to the left. At least the water's warm.
What? Yeah.
This is nice.
What do you think?
We could try what you said and just try to go over there. I mean, we could probably make.
You want to go this way?
I don't know.
Try and hit that right there.
I mean, that's shortest path possible. All right.
Feet's getting cold. Before I get deep, right? Hug that right there. I can see the bottom.
We got it. Got it.
Good?
Yeah.
Hey. Don't have you anymore.
I know. Woo. Hey. Woo. Woo.
That's your path.
Oh man. I just slipped on a rock.
Yeah. I'm trying to grab it.
I know, you should have just.
I was like this. I just kept looking at that tent. I didn't care about you.
Yeah, well, obviously. Yeah, you got to care about priorities.
All right.
Well, we ended up making through our second crossing.
Barely.
Barely. You probably saw at the end, had a little stumble, slipped on a rock. It's not a good thing. But it was a little bit longer than the last one, but probably a little bit easier in the middle of it. Then towards the end, just got a little bit deeper, and then rocks are a little bit random, so ended up scrambling. But we made it, so that's all good.
Sun shining.
Sun is shining. Onto the cabin, into these woods. We have no idea where it is, but we're headed there.
Not that everybody wants to see, but in case you are a backpacker and you want to know what moose dung looks like. Basically.
Well, it's officially day 2 of our trek in the Nutzotin Mountains in the Wrangell St. Elias National Park. Just a recap of yesterday, we ended up coming about 10 miles, give or take, depending on what GPS we're following. I think my Fitbit said 12 miles, then Aaron's GPS said 10 miles, so we'll go with the conservative amount. We hiked up about 10 miles, starting with the airstrip, way over there, down the saddle, and to the east, towards the Canadian border. We came up that, crossed Klein Creek, Beaver Creek, and then Sonia Creek, and then ended up hiking probably 3 more miles up the saddle, came up, and ended up finding camp at this little location and with an awesome view. It was a lot better last night. Well, we finally made it to the pass. Obviously beautiful views. These caribou are heading right towards me. They're a little curious about what the heck I am. Just a bunch of little guys. Hey! What's going on? All right. Nope, didn't want any of that. Back down they go. We'll probably see him again. So we ended up making it to our destination, which is this creek right behind us, Ophir Creek. Ended up hiking about 6.5 miles today, as Aaron's taking a picture of me, it looks like, doing this video. Or maybe he's videoing me. Either way, we ended up hiking about 6.5 miles. And last video we shot was up at that point, right in the center with a little sunshine on it. Then just meandered down here. We were trying to beat the rain, and it looked like we ended up doing that. Kind of cleared up a little bit this way. It's still dark to the north, but where we were trying to get away from the rain actually ended up clearing up. So we just came down here and actually stumbled upon this glamorous old horse camp. It just had a bunch of hay and old wood materials. So Aaron got the idea to start making it our own campsite. So sure enough, we found a tarp, and we'll be what you call glamorous camping, aka glamping, as we have this tarp over our tent and have a nice table. Aaron has some nice chairs, also got another table. So I think we'll be set up pretty good. We're just hoping the wind doesn't rip this tarp down, but I think we should be pretty good. We've got guy lines everywhere, so it's almost a tripping hazard every step you take. But we ended up making it. Looks like tomorrow we'll end up crossing this creek and going probably another 5 or 6 miles. But essentially this trip's supposed to be 30 miles, and we've already made it a little over 15 miles in day 2, and we're out here for 6 days. So we're on a pretty good pace so far, but we'll continue on.
So we're still here at the old horse campsite.
Yeah!
While Trent's in the back taking a dump. Something we really haven't told you is some essentials out here. Baby wipes are a lot better than Germex wipes, because when you start cleaning up the private areas, it sure feels a lot better on you. Do use Germex wipes for like my face and hands and things like that. Different ways to purify the water. You can use tablets. This is iodine, and then this helps take the iodine taste away. You can put a tablet in 30 minutes, and then after 30 minutes you put one of these in for 5 minutes, and it would purify that. Another tool, this is Trent's little setup. I don't know exactly what it's called, but basically you put it in and you spin it around, and it will, after a minute to a minute and a half, it will purify the water. Pretty handy. These are not handy. These are bare food containers. You put anything that stinks or has a scent, like toothpaste, mouthwash, all these baby wipes, Germex wipes, food of any kind, and then Even all the stuff you've eaten that's, you know, trash, you got to put it in there unless you make a fire and burn it. But yeah, this thing is not too handy, but luckily it fits in my backpack, and you basically can bag up some of the stuff and put it in there so it doesn't leak. Like the spray, if that spray bottle went crazy, it would not be fun to be cleaned up. This is a new kind of bear container. It's a plastic bag inside that helps keep the scent away, and evidently this material is rough enough that bears have a hard time getting it. So, two different ways of doing that, but something we haven't explained. Thought I would this morning. Day 3 on our makeshift campsite. You can see it's a little chilly. Maybe. I don't know, maybe not on the video.
About to cross Oak Creek. Not too bad of a crossing, should be pretty easy. Just cold. A little deeper here, maybe a foot and a half. Not too bad. Got my capris rocking. And my Silas water sandals. One more crossing here. Boom! Success. Made it across. Now we're just waiting for Aaron. Aaron's about to make the jump across the river, or this creek rather, because he doesn't want to take his boots off. So he already threw his pack across. You can see to the left. But there he goes. Ooh, stuck the landing. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. He's pumped though. He's a 10 out of 10 in his world. Well, that's it. Across the river. Now we'll start heading up this way towards this valley and have a fun day towards the pass.
Shows you how far away that is though.
As we continue to walk towards the pass, got to see some more wildlife. There's quite a few caribou up here. About 5, probably up there in the ridge, and I think I counted 21 up here. You can kind of see them right there, little dots. It's a big first herd we've saw so far, and there's a few down here too, kind of taking off, but
Caribou about a, I don't know, 150 foot away. Pretty close.
well, we're currently headed down the mountain, trying to get to that pass over there. We were trying to go around this mountainside, and then on the map it kind of looked like that was definitely a lot more passable than it is, but that looks pretty dang steep on that backside. So we're kind of rerouting and heading down, and originally the path says to go up this valley and then go up towards that creek and then go up towards the pass. So it kind of stinks that we try to gain elevation early and then pass this, just ride the side of this mountain, or contour if you will, and then go back down. But that's just part of it. Looks a lot easier on the map until you see it. So that's our current plan. That's about a 1.5 miles to the pass. So after that, we'll probably end up camping pretty close to that. But that's our current update in day 3. into day 3. We ended up hiking about 6 miles overall, as you can see from the nods in the background. So we ended up coming up over that pass. We started back at the horse camp, and then we're basically halfway through our 6-day adventure in the Nutzotin Mountains. So been a pretty good trip so far. We're definitely more than halfway. Again, only 8 more miles to our final destination, kind of to Solo Lake, and we'll spend a couple days there just as our destination. So it shouldn't be too much further for us, but right now it's 9:30. I think we're ready to eat and then hit the hay. Enjoy the view while we can.
Yep. You're sitting in there waiting for rain to die. It typically dies down after a little while. Not the case. It is now 11:50. We woke up at probably 8:30 because we had a little some noise making going on. It was really quiet last night. I don't even know what time. I didn't look.
12:30.
Thought something was around the tent, so we were up for a little bit trying to spook it off. Anyway, fall back to sleep, started raining sometime this morning, and it has not stopped. So, good times. As you may recall, Trent shot a video last night where I was sitting on that rock right there, and that was our background, and he was showing where we came from. This morning it snowed all up there. That was completely clean. So it's probably a good thing we did the pass today, otherwise it'd be a little bit snowy. Well, we started hiking. Those are our snowy peaks, so we haven't been very far. And down there in the valley is a set of bears I'm going to try to record with my binoculars.
So we're here in what we would call the middle of our day 4. It's approximately 5:40 p.m. We got started about 3 after we waited for the rain to get done.
And stop for some bears and caribou.
Oh yeah, I had to stop for some bears and caribou. We saw a couple bears, and actually one of them got on their hind legs, which is pretty awesome to see, but they actually turned towards us, so that was a little interesting. But so now we're at kind of our, I wouldn't say our last obstacle, but one of our last obstacles, and it's this this river down here called North Fork, and it turns into a canyon. So we kind of got to be strategic about our crossing point. And then you can see in the distance, that's Solo Lake. That's what we're trying to get to. Not sure if we'll get there tonight, but you can kind of see the mountains in the background. If only it was a sunny day, you could see them pretty bright, but it's still kind of rainy and drizzling. But we're trying to head towards that little drainage, and then we'll see how we get there. But it's actually about a mile away. Just to show some of the little bushwhacking we're having to do to get to this drainage. It's these little guys. So you make your own path, about knee deep. certainly gets everything else wet while you're trying to stop for these guys. And a little bit more work. Not that much farther to go though. So it looks like we're at the end of day 4 here. We ended up coming down from that saddle and coming down that drainage down here in hopes of crossing this here creek called the North Fork, but it is late in the day and creeks are typically more impassable, or at least higher at the end of the day, just because all the snow melt and whatnot. And since it's been raining, since late last night, early this morning, the water looks a lot higher than expected. So we figured we would just camp it out tonight on this side. And so here we are at the beginning of day 5 on our Nutzotin traverse out here in the Wrangell St. Elias National Park. We're about to cross this river. Last night it was a little bit high and we were kind of at the end of our day, so we were getting a little tired, so we figured we might wait it out and see if the water levels get a little low, but they're still relatively high. But we ended up walking upstream from our campsite about half a mile to try to find a braided section where essentially these rocks and sandbars kind of make it a little bit easier, and the river's a little bit wider, so this should make it a little bit easier to cross. But we've still got every precaution. Basically everything was still soaked, all our boots and whatnot, so we were like, well, we can just go ahead and wear those guys. So we're doing it?
Be better.
Not really. I mean, a little bit, I guess, but Come on. You got it. You got it. All uphill from there. Or downhill. That's how that saying goes.
That middle part.
I know. It's a channel in there.
This part's easy.
Yeah, it took me back. I was like, oh, I have to dig in a little bit more than I thought.
We're getting close to our destination at Solo Lake. Stopped here for a little lunch break. Of course, it started raining on us. As you can see, the clouds behind us and the rain's coming down in the canyon below. But we got out of the bushwhacking area and we're getting close. Pretty good place to stop.
Sun over there, rain over here. About slipped. More than fun walking through all this brush, but just gotta keep thinking it'll be sunny at some point in time.
Been doing us some tracking. Looking for wildlife and such. Think we might have found us something. In their trees.
Well, here we are at the end of, at least near the end of our day 5 on the Nutzotin Traverse. Getting near the airstrip. Probably got 2 miles left, but we had to find this horse trail, which is pretty well defined, but the only bad thing is that water's run nearly through the entire thing since it's been raining lately. And also we've got to do some bushwhacking, and it's pretty dang tall, as you can see. There's Aaron standing at a hole 5/8. So you can see how tall these trees are.
Just trying to find our way back to the cabins.
Just trying to find our way back to the cabins.
Let's head on.
So obviously, gotta watch out for bears, yell at them, whatnot.
Stand up and show yourself.
Just like that.
I like my ears being uncovered so I can hear.
At the end of day 5 on the Nutzotin Traverse here in the Wrangell St. Elias National Park, and by the end of day 5 we actually made it to the end of the entire traverse. I don't know if you could see that or not. That windsock right there, that's actually the landing strip we're getting picked up in tomorrow in our bush plane. So we've actually made it to the end. Total of 35.85 miles, so nearly 36 miles. A little over 7 miles a day. We actually finished today with about, I think it was 9.6 miles, so quite a big day for us. I think we're sitting right by this Solo Creek. We got our campsite all set up, getting ready for bed. It's just a little bit past 11, but the sun's obviously still a little bit present. Just sunset about 30 minutes ago, and we get the awesome ability to drink out of this creek that looks like chocolate milk, but doesn't quite taste like chocolate milk. Definitely one of the dirtiest streams we've had the opportunity to drink out of, as you can see right there. So obviously today's our last full day, and we'll get picked up tomorrow at that landing strip right over there.
Well, just waiting here to get picked up. Jump in the Sear Creek. We both made it across. We're both pretty hungry, and that water had a lot of particles in the bottom. I had to cut a couple extra notches out of my belt loop. Losing some weight. So I'm ready for a bacon cheeseburger. What's calling my name? What about you, Trim?
I could go for the same.
Sounds like a plan.